I'm Deborah Grayson. I'm an artist specializing in processes within printmaking. I'm a Washington, D.C. native, and I have a studio in Northeast Washington, D.C. My work is really about documenting stories that aren't typically told. I spend a lot of time in archives, researching history, reading about individuals, and I am particularly interested in time frames from the turn of the last century into the 1970s. And so I collect archival and vernacular photographs and kind of reimagine the stories of people who are normally kind of on the margins or who are not centered in various stories. My work is primarily figurative, using portraiture in particular. And again, it's because I like to tell the stories of individuals, and also to me, portraiture is kind of a grounding way to do that, way to tell the story. So this particular exhibition is called They See Love as a Reddening of the Earth Under the Sun. And it's a line from a book that I read recently, which I loved, by Leon Ross. And it's just about people's stories, how they live, why they make the choices they make, but mostly how they're in community with each other. And I like to kind of use, I think it was Audre Lorde's term about biomythography, combining history and mythology and biography, and also dealing with different planes of time. So for me, the past, the present, and the future all exist at the same time. And so these images are a reflection of that narrative. What I hope people take away from this exhibit is really just kind of an expanded notion of individuals, people, histories. We're living in a time when people are actively whitewashing history, erasing factual information, or pretending like facts don't matter. And so really the images here, the figures that I tell stories about in my visual work, you know, it's a form of documentation for me, but it's also what I hope it evokes: emotions, evokes curiosity, evokes wonder, and makes people want to look beyond the surface, is what I hope people walk away with. In terms of what's next, this is a series I've been working on and off for the last 5 to 7 years. It really picked up during the pandemic, when I had lots of time to think about history and culture. And I think the next chapter in the work has a lot to do with ecology and plants and spirit. So it's a continuation of the story, but kind of a different focus on the connection to land, African Americans and the connection to land in particular. So that's where I think I'm going next.